Hey, it's your girl Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello, hi, welcome to the adventures of my life as a 27-year-old farmer in Southwest Minnesota. I need to do an intro video coming soon. It's on my list of things to do, as well as a barn tour again and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you have anything to add to that, put it in the comments and I will make sure I make a video for it, as we kind of are in a slower season where I feel like there's a lot less of like all of this going on. So we're kind of going back and going through some stuff that we don't talk a lot about, or we haven't gotten into yet, or I need to recreate or kind of like revamp. So fun little tidbit there. I'm gonna do just a quick overview, take you along for evening chores at the farm. So it's June, things are a little bit slower. Obviously there's some cows out to pasture. Evening chores are not as eventful as morning chores, so we'll do an evening version today, and then in my next video you will see what morning chores look like, because I'm on feeding duty in the morning tomorrow. So you'll see all of that fun stuff. Make sure that this, why is it so hard to say that word? Make sure you hit that subscribe button and come along for the fun. I'm gonna try to beat the rain. I literally don't want to get poured on. But we check electric fence, make sure the fence is hot generally in the morning. Especially like when corn's not really tall and at that stage that cows want to eat it, and right now they have plenty of grass, they're not pushing fences. So I'm not going to actually get out and like check fence and stuff, and we check cows usually in the morning too, like go out and drive. You'll see that tomorrow, but I do a little brief drive by here and make sure that they're all kind of like visible, nobody's obviously out, things like that. Just chilling right over there. Obviously it's been raining. Haven't been able to get the fixed mineral feeder out here yet, but eventually. They look good, and then this is that little field that we baled the other day, and the grass is coming up. Alfalfa's coming up really good. Evening chores are a lot less time intensive in general, labor intensive in general, all of those things. Generally doesn't take as long. Honestly, it's checking livestock, which we'll run through, feeding a couple bottle calves, making sure the weaned bottle calves have hay, the horses are fed, collecting chicken eggs. It's pretty much what we do. So then you'll see the morning. That's where all the shenanigans, not shenanigans, some shenanigans I guess, and a lot of all the extra like time and labor intensive, occupying, whatever word you want to use, tasks lie. I made her. First and foremost, gonna go back to the cow-calf barn, check the bunk, make sure all the calves look good, see if there's any calves I have to treat for anything, which if we find anything, I'll show you what that looks like, all that good stuff. But I did not plan on doing a lot, so we'll see. We do have a heifer. It's got a sore foot, so she's out on her own, so she's not being ridden and messed with, and then we're feeding her separately, and she's getting some meds to help with all of that. So there's that little tidbit, kind of our little stick pen. And then there's some of our pairs, and then our 2B first calf heifers coming this year. We got fresh bedding, scraped manure the other day, all of the good stuff. So I just make sure everyone looks good, and we'll check more in depth on the way out when I come by later. Hello, 822, do you need a snack? Sometimes you guys get snacks, not today. I don't have anything. Yeah, I know. Go back to the cow-calf barn. I'm gonna go around the front first and check the bunk, because if there's a calf in the bunk, I wanna get him in sooner than later. And then we'll walk all the way around or through the barn and check calves. Hey girls, how's it going? No babies in the bunk, so you can see. There's just cow heads. See how much feed they have if they're wasting corn stalks. I upped everyone just a little bit this morning. So they have a little bit extra feed, but I wanted to have them a little bit more content and happy. But nobody's in the bunk, so that was my first goal. Sometimes the calves sneak in here and then they can't figure out how to get back in, and then you have to adjust the bunk rail and get them out. Hi girls. I just make sure all the calves are bright-eyed, heads are sitting up, you know, they don't have a droopy ear, any of that type of stuff. Calves are alert, bright-eyed, not coughing, don't have snot in their nose. The first signs and symptoms, standing heat, that the calves are getting sick is usually one ear starts to droop. So if I find somebody, I'll show you, but I'm hoping I don't find anybody. And then we just, you know, if it's warranted to treat them, to help them feel better, we'll do that. Otherwise, I kind of monitor and do that. Just keep track of things, check them the next morning, all of that. But we'll go check everybody here. Looking good. Everyone's pretty content. Upping the cows was perfect, because look at, now you're gonna talk. Hi, Red. You look good, little buddy. That's one of the younger calves. Remember that calf a while ago, if you've watched my videos, that I was treating and giving electrolytes to. That's him, doing way better. So it's good. But we have treated 274 before. Now you can see just a little bit of droopiness in that left ear with the white tag. He's looking much better. I also make note if I see the bulls that are in here interested in anyone as in a cow's in heat. That way I would know like 283 days from now, she's likely gonna have a calf if we're doing some sorting, stuff like that. And then if we're breeding, which I will be this next week again, I'll heat check numerous times a day, which you've seen in other videos. But everyone looks really good. I'm gonna walk around the back just to double check, but then we'll move on to the next piece. Some evenings, we also scrape the alleyway in the cow barn here. Just keep that feed alleyway nice and dry for them. Content. He's getting into his work over there, folks. My calf was chewing his cud, which is another good sign they're feeling good. Cows that chew cud are relaxed and content, not, you know, feeling crummy. But yeah, everyone looks good, which is fantastic. The goal is for them to look good, and generally, knock on wood here, I don't have any wood, so imaginary wood, they do well. But if you do find somebody that is starting to feel kind of crappy, earlier treatment and monitoring is a lot more efficient at getting them out of it at a much quicker pace, or even just saving their life in general. So keeping track of them is really important before things turn more serious, just because a calf's immune response is not the same as a human. Fun little tidbit. So they sometimes can't fight things off very well, so they need the help, all that jazz, which is also why they get the shots they get at birth, all of that stuff. So we're gonna come back here last because I gotta feed 2 bottle calves that are up here. So we'll go walk by, check the fat cattle over briefly. I do a lot of checking in the morning while I'm feeding because you're up and you can see. And then you'll see who comes up to eat. That's usually a big indicator for fat cattle in general. If they're coming up to eat, older cows too, they're good to go. If they're not, that's where you have to watch. So you can see how much feed they have left. These guys have a lot of feed left, so I'm not sure, this is a little more than ideal for us. Not sure if they kind of pulled off feed just a little bit, which they can do with weather and stuff. I'm not sure why. Let me look at the heifers. So this is a lot more ideal feed left at this time of day. We like to have more of what the heifers have left, not quite this much feed, because if this is not gone in the morning, I have to adjust accordingly when I come feed you. And they always like to play this like, am I dead or am I alive game? But definitely, hopefully alive. Yep. 99.9999999% of the time, they're alive. Every once in a while. It's a little stressful, but walk through, listen, make sure nobody's, breathing really heavy, especially if we start to get to warmer weather. I'll walk back through there again, so I'll look again. But everyone looks good. Next up, we go to the old hoe barn, where we feed horses, make sure the weaned bottle calves have feed and hay and all that jazz. Then we'll collect eggs in this old pig barn. And then we're almost done. It's really not a lot, so it's kind of an exciting season. Hi kids. Everyone's bright-eyed in here, feeling good. I always make sure there's water in the water fountain just in case there happens to be some sort of water line break issue, thing like that. They have feed, they have some hay, they're good to go. Usually in the evenings they don't need much. And then these are the older calves. So once again, I make sure they have feed. They're on creep feed instead of like calf grower, and then I'll give them a little bit more hay, and then I'll feed hay and some alfalfa to these 2 dum-dums that are here until we get them over to our house, which just hasn't happened yet. Took me like a minute and a half. I forgot to say that we do have goats that are out on grass now, just not like pasture like cows, but grass around the yard. So I'll just make sure they have water, and then that's all they have. Hi girls! So there's our little water bucket. Here comes the girls. It's nice because they can eat up a lot of the space that is kind of just wasted sometimes, or just ends up being mowed. And they love it. So cleaning up by the bin, side of the barn, on top of the syrup tank, all that jazz are all shedding out, and they're looking good. So we'll check all of them. Hi, Jitterbug. Jitterbug gets some loves too every time. I know it's really exciting. We also have chickens. Pretty exciting stuff. I used to be terrified of them. I kind of still am like, but go get chicken eggs here, feed the chickens. It's really not that exciting. We'll see how many I get. We just have them in an old farrowing barn. Clearly the one water is empty, but that one has water and I can see it. And then we have some crates in here for them to have eggs in. Sometimes they have eggs on the floor, and then they have all of these like natural perches to hang out. But yeah, they're pretty nice. I got them as babies, so I'm not as terrified of them. I grew up with roosters. A couple of them that would like, my mom would have to take a 2x4 outside with us because they were like nuts. That's where the chicken being terrified, chicken phobia started. But these ones, they're not as bad. And obviously they're used to us. So like I'm in here in sandals right now. So obviously I'm not like terrified, but I need both hands to get eggs. So I'll see you in a minute. Honestly, ladies, I'm kind of unimpressed because I only got 9 eggs and I usually get like, well, 9's probably pretty normal, but the last couple of times, store stays shut with the board. The last couple of times I've gotten eggs, I've gotten like 17, so that was pretty weak sauce, but we'll go deliver these to the indoors before I break them. Eggs are in the house, didn't break any. It's raining a little bit now, but walk through this alleyway once, check everybody else out. I counted every single calf here, which is fantastic. That means there's not many left. And most of those actually will go to pasture here shortly, once all the rain stops again. And then I just make sure all these fellows look good. We're gonna go feed bottle calves, and then we're done. I'm gonna make our 2 bottles. There we go. Feed the kids. I only mix one at a time because it's only a couple kids. What are you doing over there? Come in. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, yeah. So this one's a bottle calf because he was a twin. The other one over there is a bottle calf because her mom, lights on, nobody's home type of situation. So, give you some sound effects. What the kid sounds like. Got the 2 kiddos fed. What you want? And I keep them separate for a couple minutes so they don't try to nurse the heck out of each other since they're actually together now. So that's a wrap, to be honest. We'll walk by the pens one more time and then we're done. And if you know anything about bottle calves, you usually barely make it out alive without slobber. And I did not. All right, folks, it's raining. Big surprise. But that was a glimpse into evening chores. Like I said, not a lot, just kind of pay attention to some details, but we'll catch you on the next one where you'll see morning chores. A lot more going on there, but still definitely not as many chores as other times of the year. So have some fun, but thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time.